Okay, let's try this again. So, to start the Death Glitch speedrun, you're going to select a file, you're going to go in here to a blank file, and you are going to input the name. The name is X exclamation point V apostrophe Q. After you have that, hit start. Hit start again. We don't care about the cutscenes. This is a speed run. All right. Richter, Bloodlines. Awesome. Skip the first candle. You do not want the cross weapon for this fight. You're going to want the one that we get here in a moment instead. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Dracula says stuff. Dracula throws his cup. Go, boom, Hydro Storm. Alright, and as soon as he gets back to his I dashed in there just to show you what's possible, but really I probably shouldn't have. Anyway, item crushed twice, he dies in a very short amount of time. It's impossible to fuck that fight up.
Count Dracula had risen.
Skip. Now loading. Alright. So, if you come in and you see your hit points of 25, 5 hearts, that means the luck code is input correctly because that is the only time you will start with stats that bad. Strength 1, Constitution, yeah, luck, hit points, hearts, blah, 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 blah. 99 luck is the one that we're looking for. It allows us to do the death glitch. We will do that here in a moment. First, chop the wolf. Second, come into this hallway. You're going to kill as many of these guys in as short amount of time as possible. Essentially, you just want to gain a level or two. You don't really need too much else out of this situation. If it's possible to get a cloth tunic from one of the zombies, go ahead and do it. If you see it drop, because it is going to make the next step a little easier. But if you don't worry about it. Come through this hallway, kill these guys. Boom, bop. And then down here. Alright. We didn't gain any constitution at all, but we did gain a hit point. So, okay. So we've got that level. That's really all we need. Bop. Hit him in the head. Bop. Hit him in the head. And then hit him in the head. After that, equip. Unarmed. Dragon helm. Basically come in here and remove everything except for the necklace of J and the lapis lazuli. You also want to make sure that if you took any hits getting here, go ahead and use that pot roast now so you have enough health to live through this next bit. He's going to go bonk. Boom. 25 damage. Straight through the hole. And up and through. Cool. If you're smart, you'll hit pause in the middle of all that, re-equip all your stuff. That way you're not having to fight this guy here in a second using a cannoli and wishes. But you can also just do that. Boom, boom. He'll explode. Awesome. Short sword. That is great. Go immediately into the save room. Save. You want to do this so that you don't die, but also hitting a save point causes the menu to function correctly again after that, meaning that you can do things like equip all of your wonderful stuff. Now, after you do that, congratulations. You are starting the game with what is essentially the second most powerful piece of equipment in every slot. The Alucard sword is an absolutely terrifying weapon. The Alucard shield is best in game. The Alucard mail, you factor in its elemental defenses, is probably one of the top 3 pieces of armor in the game. Twilight Cloak is the best cloak. Fucking all that fun stuff. Well, now we're on to the actual speedrun itself. So, we're going to cover a couple of things we're going through here. First off, shield dashing. We'll come to that here in a moment once we're on one of our straightaways. Back dashing and shield dashing are the two ways that you're going to travel here in the game that allow you to move a little faster than you would be able to otherwise, which is going to be important if you want to get to certain places where you can make the, if you're going for a record time, essentially, that's how you're going to want to travel. It's the only way to fly. Now, right now, since we're in the alchemy laboratory, it's still pretty opening scenes right now, and really there's just too much switching in direction and things like that to be fucking with backdashing at the moment. We're not concerned with it too much, but here in a moment we're going to have a straightaway, and I'll show you how that actually works. For now, just jump up, and get down. The axe is the weapon that we're really going to want for this fight. Not that it matters, because you don't have enough hearts to make it worthwhile. If you're coming in here the old-fashioned way, though, definitely have the axe for this, because these guys suck if you don't have the axe. Right now, though, with the Alucard sword, boom, boom, boom. As you can see, 4 hits apiece. They fall over. They are yesterday's news. Grab that life max up. You can leave it there if you want to save yourself a little bit of time, but unless you're specifically doing a record run, I wouldn't advise it, because you are also about as fragile as a kitten in a snowstorm. So, all right. There's that cloth tunic. And these guys, the blood zombies, these are a good resource. They do have a couple of nice pieces of equipment. That cloth tunic isn't really anything to write home about, but the Bacillard, if you're doing a standard build run, you're not doing speed runs or any glitch shit or anything like that, it's a good initial weapon. It's fast, it's short range, but it's incredibly damaging for the speed that it has. You have to be real close to things in order to make it happen, but it'll make those things happen. Alright, so if you hit triangle, you dash. If you hit triangle and O intermittently, it cancels your dash and allows you to move forward again faster. That is, in a nutshell, shield dashing using the backdash. Just make sure that Alucard is pointed in the direction that you don't want to go, and hit those 2 buttons. Boom, 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 boom. It's possible just to hit triangle, slide your thumb down to O, and then hit triangle again. Sort of feather them like that, and it makes the go. All right. Now, here in a moment, we're going to pick up something that's going to make everything work better for us later on. Oh, I am running ankle first into the wall there. And that thing is going to be clock. I know there's one right up here. We're going to grab that and hold on to it for a minute. There's really essentially 2 majorly useful weapons in here. And the sub-weapons you're going to want, they're going to be the clock and the axe. Axe is great because it does a lot of damage compared to your other sub-weapons. Thereby meaning that it will really sit down. Thank you. It will actually be semi-useful because right now your sub-weapons all suck. Your intelligence is 3? 3, yeah. 3, so your magic and your sub-weapons are all pretty limited at the moment. Alright. Axe is just powerful enough that it eventually becomes useful. Plus, it is in and of itself a good weapon just because of the angles it hits at. And the clock, I can't even use the clock yet, but I'm picking it up now because I'm going to need it here in a little while, and it's going to be the trick for when I pick it up, for when I need it here in a little while. I'll let you know exactly what that's going to look like once we get to that point of speedrun. Alright, begin. Backdash through this hallway. Boom, 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 boom. And if you get paralyzed by that, shake your D-pad. That's going to get you out of there quicker. yeah, once you're through that hallway there, through the loading zone, outer wall, boom, boom, boom. All right. And this is going to be our next upcoming boss fight here in a second. It's not going to be that hard to do. Normally, Doppelganger is a little difficult if you come here at a younger level. But considering the fact that we used the power of luck to evade the clutches of death and we still have the Alucard sword, he's going to be kind of a pushover. And you'll see how much of a pushover here in a second. But it's... nothing to write home about, just good, clean, summary execution. Right. Mean-spirited, but also not untrue. So, this is the outer wall. We're just going to travel up the outer wall for a moment here. This is actually not the way I was speedrunning originally, but the way I was speedrunning originally was not contingent upon too many glitches. Sometimes I would do the death evasion glitch, but usually I would just come in here and raw dog everything, which is a different form of Castlevania. It's still fun in its own way, but if you're doing something from the standpoint of, you know, trying to get it done for record time and all that good stuff, this is the generally accepted method for doing it. So, plus, it'll net you a lot of stuff very quickly. Up here, activate the elevator. Now, after you activate the elevator, we're just going to go back down here. We're not going to activate any of the teleport ring or any of that stuff right now. We're just going to let that all sit. We're interested in that wolf. Boom. All right, Soul of Wolf. This is going to allow us to activate our second major glitch. We'll show you what that is here in a moment. This isn't necessarily a glitch so much as it is a evasion of the standard way of doing things. This is us taking a break from the common method and taking a shortcut using programming snippets and leftovers that somebody thought would be a great idea. So we're going to go ahead and just boom. Now, once again, try not to get hit by that guy. And that candle I recommend that you always stop for just because you want the extra cash. And the extra cash isn't going to do much for you, but it is going to save us a couple of minutes in one spot, and it can potentially get you a couple of neat things when we get to the shop here in a little while as well. So it's not, again, absolutely essential, but it can be nice. You know, it can add up, especially since you have the luck, and there's a good chance that you might end up with a little extra cash before you get there anyway, just due to the fact that things sometimes drop money, and that happens more often when you have 119 de facto luck. So, we're focusing on the zoom here. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. And you'll notice I'm just kind of skipping most of the candles at this point in conversation. I'm not trying to fuck around because I don't want to lose the weapon that I have right now. That sub-weapon, again, that's going to come in really in handy here in a moment. So, obviously not right now. I mean, it probably also would have come in handy against that guy. I'm just not really concerned about it at the moment. Alright, we're down here 13 minutes, 14 seconds. That means we got a second or two to kill. So, at this point, we input the luck code, we fought Dracula, we got into the castle, we got through the first room full of wargs, we got through the second room full of wargs, we went through all three wargs and then came back to the second warg. We unequipped our stuff, we made sure we had a level so that we could live through him smacking us, and then he bitch slapped us into another time zone, We woke up on the other side without having talked to death, but with all of our equipment intact, and then we made our way from there up through the alchemy laboratory, through the marble gallery, and to the outer wall. We got the wolf form, and then we came back here. Now, make sure you have an active candle there. Oh, don't overbop the jump. Switch back. Aha. Switch back. And when you do the jump, make sure you hit it and make sure you steer the right direction. So how that works is when you use the wolf form, once you're in the air, you switch back to Alucard, and for a second afterwards, it gives you the ability to do the downward kick that you have after you have the leap stone, which gives you double jump. Normally, you can't do this because you don't have that right now. That allows you to bounce off that candle and come up here into Olrox's quarters, and it also allows you to circumvent a good 15 minutes of time where you'd have to travel out of your way up to the second castle and all sorts of other fun shit. It's also important because it empowers one of our later glitches. You need the wolf form for all that, so we'll come to that as we get there. But really what it's doing in this situation is saving us a crap load of time. We could still get to the second castle without using that. We just would have to take quite a large quite a large departure from our current path in order to make that happen. You know what, guys? Nope. That room sucks, if you hadn't noticed. Not a friendly place. Alright. Just gonna drop down here. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Up. Somewhere around here is a Paranthropus, but I don't think we can get the cool ring from him right now. It would be nice if we could. Alright, there we go. And this room is awesome because this room has something really cool in it. So this room, just for reference, as you can see, the Colosseum, it is the room that is going to be on the very bottom floor of the Colosseum all the way to the left. It's going to have these two knights and these guys inside of it, the musketeers. You're going to kill all those guys, go back there and collect what's on that pedestal. What's on that pedestal is going to save you more time than anything else in the game will. That is the shield rod. Once you have the shield rod and you start with the Alucard shield, you have the most powerful weapon in the game. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk next to that because technically there are weapons that are slightly better than it is, just not many of them, and that's really all there is to it. Also, if you want to, now's a good opportunity to just go back and forth in that room once or twice, kill everything off. It is going to be a great opportunity for you to make a lot of cash very quickly because the other thing inside of that room is 1,000 cash bag that always loads in that candle in the back. So if you're money grinding, Merry Christmas.
Who are you?
Who are you? That's a good fucking question. All right. I'll tell you who. Oh. Activate the shield rod, third shield, bop. And activating the shield rod special is pretty easy. You just hold down your shield, hit the shield rod twice, and it'll activate the shield ability. That allows you to do all sorts of different things depending upon what shield you have. In the Alucard shield's case, it turns it into a weapon that has 255 damage on contact, in addition to heart regeneration, vampiric, and temporary invulnerability every time it comes to contact with something that does cause it to consume
It's been
hit
a
points
long
whenever you
time.
have it, or not hit points, magic points whenever you
How
have it
about this?
operational.
How about this?
Sell that. And we're going to buy
How
two
about
things
this?
here. I'm going to buy a mana prism because why not? We are going to run out of magic points at some point in time. Then I'm also going to buy a library card. Now, I'm not fucking around with the duplicator or any of the garnet glitches or any of those fun things, so we're not going to worry about that right now. What we are going to worry about is re-equipping the shield rod. Boom. We use the shield rod because we're going to need it here in like 5 seconds. Boom. Oh. Now, this is why I brought the fucking clock with me. The next thing that we're going to do is use that wolf bounce kick jump to make things happen up here. And I used it at the wrong point. Okay, that's fine. Essentially, what you want to do, and you want to do it correctly instead of how I'm doing it, is use the wolf bounce to jump off of one of these books. Okay, you die. All right, there we go. You want to try that again, buddy? Gosh, come on down here. Be a good book. Okay, there we go. But yeah, essentially you want the book to be in this area, but you want it to be slightly lower than it was when I activated it there. And you want to be able to jump above where it's going to be at, switch to the wolf, switch back to Alucard, then bounce off of it and up onto the ledge up there. This is a pain in the ass, by the way. I'm not going to lie. Especially because the book does not stay in one spot for very long. All that good crap. Trying not to lose too much time here doing this one because I really got a train that I want to be on here. I need to get this done in 1 hour because of the way that I'm recording it. I don't want it exceeding my maximum video size, and I do want to get it done. But it is a pain in the ass, as you can see. It is not very cooperative sometimes. Especially with that goddamn plant up there. I think I'm about to throw my controller through my TV. Is really what's going to go on here, because this will be the third time today I've done this. Literally, the last time I did it, I was off by like a grand total of a minute. Oh, get it that time, like. Come on, dickhead. Let's go. You know what? Fuck you both. Come on, you piece of shit. Let's go. And of course, the one time I get it, it's like, oh yeah, but he hit you too, you know? You die. You die, you die, you die. Oh wait, I've got a better way to make this all happen. Why am I doing this the hard way? There we go. Come on, dipshit, let's go. I got lost! Like, did you really, or did you just not know your ass in the hole? Why can't it be both? There we go. Not ideal, but I'll take it. As long as I get to the end objective in time, I really don't give a shit if we fucked up a minute or two there. So, again, I'm not really battling the clock for personal glory or greatness or anything like that. I'm battling the clock in order to have it done, so I have a demo video for my channel that needs to fit inside of an hour's worth of time. It doesn't even necessarily need to fit in an hour's worth of time. I just don't feel like doing any video editing. And to be blunt, I was like, the folks who are crying about, oh, you could have edited that together. I could have. I didn't, but I could have. I could have edited this together. I didn't, but I could have. Sure, you know. I guess I just don't like gotcha moment motherfuckers, and that's really what it comes down to. But we're going to stop bitching and get back to the task at hand. So after you defeat the demon up there and get the soul of the bat, equip, boom, library card. This is going to be nice because this is going to give me back a couple of those minutes that disappeared while I was fucking with those books a moment ago. But use the library card, it brings you out up here. It just saves you a couple of minutes of return time. It's really the only thing that it does. But it saves you that couple of minutes of time. Now card shield, because when I come through here this time, I'm going to make sure that these motherfuckers know my name. Not spiteful. Yes, yes it is. You gotta die. I'm going to show you something else fun with the bat here in a moment. So the bat has this ability, hold X, start from up, and then rotate 3/4 circle in the direction that you wish to go. If you want your travel to move to the right, you would start from up, left, down, right, then let up on your X, which is your jump button. Do the same thing in the other direction for the travel in the opposite direction. Marvelous stuff. Obviously, gets there quickly. That's what we want to do. So, we've got our bat form, we've got our wolf form. What do we need now? We're going to go up here and get the double jump, because it's finally possible for us to do that and kind of be on the way to bigger and better things, as it were, as opposed to making a 20-minute detour. And I'm over-representing it. It's probably closer to 10 actual minutes, but as opposed to making a giant detour in order to accommodate just it alone, we've gotten so many other things done in this amount of time, and we can still get this particular item off of our checklist here, and we can do that here very shortly. Which we're going to go ahead and do right here. And so come into the clock tower. Fly, fly, fly. That skips the first entire vertical section of the clock tower, if you do it that way. Activate the Alucard shield, because we don't want that for here in a second. Boom. You just want to come all the way over here as far as you can. Drop down quickly. Boom. Through there. And something nice about the bat form, if you've got it, but you don't have the other things like, you know, the double jump or gravity jump, things like that, bat form still allows you a little bit of protected travel because there is just a second of invincibility in the load time changeover whenever you're transforming into the form. Alright, now down here, just stay on the bottom level of this room. You don't really want to fuck around with going up because there's going to be detours and things like that. This is really the first time that you're going to get off the bottom floor for that room. Past them pendulums, and then, cool. Right here again, this is a room where you're pretty safe to go ahead and do some backdashing or travel through as fast as you want. Terasuman, kill him. Notice how he explodes instantaneously. It's so cute. Pop. Alright. Through here. Alright, now, that is where we're going to be going later, but we're going to leave it alone for right now. This is where we're going right now. Drop down through the floor. Go into the side room here. Fucking geese. I really, really do hate these things. They're not very damaging. They're just very, very obnoxious. They get in your way, they stay in your way, and they just complicate your air travel. Lots of knockbacks and shit like that. Nobody likes that. There we go. Turkey. Alright. And then use the GTFOH method. But that thing that we picked up there was the leap stone that gives us the double jump, which is going to be the last piece of really essential air mobility that we're going to be collecting from the first castle. There's really only one or two other things that kind of go with air mobility, and we're not going to be using those for the speed run. So drop down into that room, go through the teleporter, come out of the horse teleporter, and this brings us back out in the first area of the castle again. I'm going to do a little murking around here, not much. Click the button on the floor, you'll see that these guys have been replaced. They used to be skeletons, now it is bloody zombies. These guys just running around chopping people up with them fucking knives. How rude. So we're going to go back up into the alchemy lab, but we're not going to go very far into the alchemy lab. We're going literally just far enough for us to get one item, and then we're going to be flipping a bitch and going back down to the first area so that we get the other item that goes along with it. And then we're going to go back to the clock tower. So, bonk. It's those guys, jump up there. This is a nice opportunity for you to get some variety of weapons and things like that if you want something a little different. I think we will go ahead while we're here. So I've done pretty much everything I need the clock for. That axe looks nice. We like that. We're not really going to need the clock for anything here forward. So, wow. Let's see if I can fuck that up again. Alright, now we're just going back the way we came. Get back to where you once belonged. Alright. And if you want to, you can go ahead and charge up the Alucard shield again. Drop down through the hole in the floor, and this time you want to go ahead and pop over that ledge. heart max up. Not using hearts for very much here, but if you're using your sub weapon at all, more hearts is better. And then bop that. That'll be a turkey. Okay. Now, this is a long ass hallway, and we have some time to make up. I'm going to use the bat dash through there. And the bat dash is probably one of the more difficult moves to execute right off the bat, but it is very useful. So if you can get your brain or your thumbs wrapped around it, it is good. It's a skill that will serve you well. You know. All right, here we go. Let's ignore that guy entirely. That was a strategic mistake. Yeah, of course. You know what, Owl? I was going to let you guys live, and now I'm not. Alright, here we go. Power of the Wolf. Life max up. Now, Power of the Wolf changes the way the Wolf's dash ability works so that you can sustain it for a great amount of time. Every single time you hit something while you're in the dash, it does consume magic points. But aside from that, it's an excellent way to travel. You're functionally invulnerable while you're in the dash once you're up to speed, and once you have it up to speed, as long as you don't run into a solid object, you also don't stop moving. The other part of that conversation, probably the more important part of that conversation, the wolf does require a little bit of runway in order to get up to speed. That's where the power of the wolf comes in. Skill of the wolf allows you to do that high-speed dash, relic, boom, and then, well, power of the wolf allows you to do the high-speed dash and gain the invincibility. Skill of the wolf gives you the special ability, the down, forward attack that causes you to instantly go up to speed. So, combining those two, super beautiful stuff. That's all I can say about that. It does wonderful things. Well, we're going to try our next glitch here. This one is kind of a pain in the ass, but it's useful. It allows us to circumvent the Richter fight and get to the next castle without having to go find both the silver ring and the gold ring, go get the spike breaker and a bunch of other shit. So it is, once again, pretty nice for that. First thing you want to do, bop that, bop that. Now, you're going to notice as I'm jumping, the camera's moving up and down here. Once I pass into this room, that camera doesn't do that anymore. That's how we're going to tell whether or not the glitch worked. Okay? So, switch over to your wolf form here. You're going to want to kind of line up your wolf's front paw there. You see that front paw is away from the steps, and then his second paw is right flush with the top of the stairs. That's about where you want to be. Forward starts the dash. As soon as you see him move, hit X. And essentially, once it comes over the line, as long as that camera's moving, that means the glitch worked. In this situation, the glitch worked. Turn back into Alucard, because the glitch won't work if you do that. But go into the next room here, and instead of fighting Richter and getting the ha 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 ha, you get the, oh shit, I fucked up speech. And then Alucard goes to the second castle. Money. I think this is the universe repaying me for making me look like an ass with the books in the library a moment ago, but I'll take it. Never underestimate the power of low-hanging fruit. Okay. Now, we are in the second castle. This is the inverted royal keep. A couple of things to mention about this place. If you go down below here, there is a room that has a shitload of life max up and heart max ups. Because we are already behind the clock, we're not going to grab that this time, but if you're doing this run kind of casually or looking to actually build it out to a full save later, go there. That's a great place to recharge, and Alucard doesn't have a lot of health at this point in time. You're going to need all the help you can get. Now, While we're in here, we want to come up here. That teleport room that we activated in the other castle, we want to activate the same room here, but we want to do that before we go anywhere else. In the inverted castle, the rooms don't automatically connect like they do with the first time you use a teleporter in the first castle. They require that you go into the room in order to connect it to the ring, and we're going to want this one connected to the ring. Go back down here, the lion room, and through this door. Now, this door is going to take us back to the clock tower, if you'll recall, and we're going to fight a giant bat. Let's go ahead and power up the old Alucard shield. Oh, Bat says, hey, I'm Bat-tacular. He's doing the Batusi. Oh, he is not very, not what you can call spectacularly beefy or anything like that. He takes it on the chin, I believe, is the nice way of putting that. So, now this next section is pretty straightforward, but there's one part of it that's a pain in the ass. We're going to kind of cover how that works. You want to go through this room, get all the way up to the top immediately in here, because it's going to be the easiest way to make things happen. Just kind of follow along. Boom. Yeah, I don't know why it makes you use the Alucard. Like, you have to recast Alucard shield after you come out of that fight. I have no good explanation for why. In a game as buggy as this, I'm pretty sure it's just one of those things. The other part of that conversation being that you consider how many of the bugs are beneficial versus how many aren't. This is really one of the few times where it doesn't work in your favor, so don't bitch. Alright, now this is the room that's kind of a pain in the ass. You essentially want to get these guys dealt with as quickly as you can. If you are confident in your bat piloting skills and you feel like you can get out of here without incident, do so. Otherwise, make your way up to here, hide out in this corner for a second, let them kind of come to you, and then just hold out the shield, and there we go. And once you got enough of them killed off for you to just kind of coast. Come into this room. Any of these thin floor areas you can kind of drop through. You hold down and hit jump, and it'll just drop you directly out the bottom. And then once you're to the bottom of that middle section, you don't have to fuck around with it. You can come out, just walk straight across. It'll get you out to the major area here, and that's really what you want. And then a couple of bat dashes later, and you will be over here. Don't do what I just did and forget the fact that you skipped the gravity jump earlier, because it will make you feel like a dumb shit when you do that. Alright, we're low on magic points here. That's good. We're going to have a little bit of a time to recharge as we're going up the clock tower here in a moment, which is also good. So the Bible's not a bad sub-weapon, but it's really not the one that you want for speedrunning. And that's it. Like I said, the big three, axe, dagger, and clock. Clock has very specific special uses. The axe is very good for hitting things at odd angles, and then the dagger is just literally straightforward damage output. That's the reason why you want it. It's linear damage output that goes directly in front of you. It's incredibly fast. Plus, the dagger has probably the best average cost per use of any of the sub-weapons. So, there's that. Oh, God. I kind of wish I had an axe right now, just because getting that guy with the dagger is a little bit of a pain in the ass. And that's usually why I tend to run with the axe, but if you don't currently have one, get back to the dagger. It'll help you out. Alright, now, once we're at about that point, the first vertical section of the outer wall, we're going to go through the hallway. This is kind of where we fought the doppelganger earlier in the first castle. You want to just come over here, punch Frankie in the nuts with the owl shield. That's why we got the shield rod in the first place, was to simplify so much of this shit. Pain the Tooth of Vlad. Now, in this case, we're actually going to do something that I kind of generally don't. We're going to go over here and just save for a second, because our magic points are a little low, and it would be nice to get them back up to full. We're going to need them for the rest of our run here. Awesome. There we go. And Paranthropus. You can fly past these guys, but I always take a second to kill them just to see if they're going to drop the Ring of Varda. They didn't this time. The Ring of Varda, after you've been through the game once, you have one clear data on your memory card, you can get the Ring of Varda from those guys. The Ring of Varda is the best accessory in the game. Like, there are no downsides. It gives you 40 strength, it gives you 40 intelligence, it gives you a luck bonus, it gives you a con bonus, and it looks like a giant skull. Fucking, it is the coolest thing since sliced bread. You know, and it only loads on Paranthropus skeletons, and there's only 4 of them in the game. 3 of them are in that hallway. So, as you're coming through, if you're doing a speed run, just take you a second. You know, they're worth the bop out, because you're going to be in that hallway anyway, you know. But you might end up with something neat. Oh, those things. I hate those things. Okay. Boom. This is the other nice reason for the Alucard shield being your primary form of weaponry here. Temporary invulnerability means the ankle textures in the black marble gallery don't affect you quite as much. As long as you've hit something recently, you have about a second of invulnerability, at which point in conversation you can reposition, hit the ground, jump. It keeps them from tearing you up, since they each do about 12.5% of your damage every time they hit you. Basically, 1/8 of your overall hit points, no matter what your hit points are. So, all right, we're coming along here, folks. Now, this section you do want to conserve some magic points for. As long as you have about half, you should be good to go. But you've got to fly up the shaft here, and since we didn't stop to get the gravity jump in the first castle because speed run. That means we have to go up there the old-fashioned way. Slow, reliable, steady. Just keep an eye on your magic points, and if you do get to a point where you're going to run out, there's ledge on the right side. There's also that ledge there. Make sure you're close to the right side. Just stick to the right side that way. If you need one of the ledges, you can get on it, and it'll prevent you from having to redo the entire thing. The other thing is, if you can conserve some MP for your Alucard shield, it's going to shine in this little run here, because I'm flying through these guys right now, but the guy with the big rock can accidentally kill you in a couple of hits. The shrieking girl that's coming out of the giant plant there, she can do a tremendous amount of damage to you, plus her general crowd control attributes are so good that she can make it very easy for the big guy with the big rock to turn you into a big stain. So, important to note. Alright. This is that awkward point in the Castlevania game where former bosses have turned into standard enemies. Those are two Gaibond. And then over here we've got a couple of Slogger. Those are both bosses from the original Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo, which made me smile when I started playing this. Of course, after you play a bunch of the other Castlevania games, you start to realize how environmentally friendly all of them are. There's a lot of recycling there, but that's fine. It creates a good, robust in-universe environment. It's a very consistent sort of menagerie of guys. And yeah, Anyway, kill death, as we just did there. You want to get the ring from him, and then we're going to go back up, collect our last 2 body parts, and we're going to go fight Dracula after that. So we came through death. We're going up, 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 further up. As you can see, we are pretty far into the catacombs, or pretty far up into the reverse catacombs at this point in conversation. I believe this is actually the abandoned cavern, but yeah. So here we go. Boom. Through here. All right. Now there's that teleporter, and it's located down here near where we fought death. We boom, and it's going to bring us back out in the reverse castle keep where we selected that first teleporter, which is why it was important to do that. It's going to save us a lot of time. Also, 48 minutes, 51 seconds. We're getting down to the clock here, folks. We'll be stuck doing this a 4th fucking time tonight. So I'm going to put a little bit of pepper on our steppers this time. Boom. Dog. There we go. All right. Boom. Boom. Magic missile. Waka Kaka Kaka knife. You don't have to get those items. I did because I know there's a monoprism in here somewhere, and I can't remember where it's at. But that would be an ideal thing at this point in conversation. Speaking of which, boom, 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 boom. All right, there we go. Power value card shield compels you. Power value card shield compels you. Yeah, come through here as fast and efficient as you can. Bump, bump her up. I really wish it wouldn't do the whole fucking... Like, if you could skip animations, that would be nice. There you go, and then boom. I got that Bible. We're not going back to the dagger right now. We are on the clock here. So fly up here quickly. You can take a moment to deal with those guys if you like. Normally I would, but I'm again working against the clock here. But essentially, you just want to fly past the first set of those archers, fly past the second set of those archers, and into this alcove, which will take you to Olrox's quarters. And then after we're in Olrox's quarters, we're just going to kind of get through here as quickly as we can. And Alucard Shield makes super short work of those guys, so wonderful stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. They die instantly, drop all the way down to the bottom level. You'll notice there's a Karasuman there, kill him. And then Bat Dash in through here. Bat in through there. And we have to fight King Tut. I think this is actually Amonkhet too, but the Mummy! Pop, pop, smack him in the nuts, the ally card shield a few times. And then he will slowly fade away into dust. We're 52-14, we're not doing bad. Gotta keep an eye on that ball, though. Boom. The Rib of Blad. Alrighty. There we go. This is going to be one of those places where MP is a premium item. You're going to want to conserve it through this section. If at all possible, simply from the standpoint that you've got a very long hallway to travel up. And again, if it looks like you're going to run out, just make sure you skim along the right side of the wall there. There are a couple of alcoves here and there along the right side of the wall that will prevent you from having to redo the entire hallway. So, through there, up here, and into the next room. Now, ouch. This is going to be a room where you're definitely going to want some extra magic points just from the standpoint of being able to let the Alucard shield do the talking. And then fly straight the fuck past this guy. And then you really don't need any bat form or any specialized travel for the next little bit here. With the exception of maybe that one spot. So it'll give your MP a little bit of a time to rest. You'll have the ability to kind of skip up through here. 5426, we're doing pretty good. Alright, we're going to listen to this thing ding. Now, by this point in time, as long as you collected all of the pieces of Vlad, this room will open. You will be able to go complete the final fight of the game. If you did not, it will not. You cannot, and that's all there is to it. So, as long as you completed those 5 bosses, the Giant Bat, Frankenstein, Death, Medusa, and the Mummy, you'll have all the pieces you need to make this happen. I'm going to duck into the side room here and hope to hell this doesn't screw us over. Boom. There we go, because we just want the extra magic points back, and that's literally it. Cool. And then up here. Fighting Shaft, and then Dracula. So neither of these are a very hard fight. Essentially, you just want to make sure that you have the Al shield active. Drop down here into the room, hit start, skip cutscene. Oh, 5602. Alright, hurry up, motherfucker. Essentially, this fight is easier if you just hold the shield out the entire time. Oh, apparently I have to activate it in this room. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there you go. Just make sure it's active. That's what I get for trying to save time. Alright. But yeah, as long as the shield is active, you should be able to kill him in a matter of literal seconds. And you should be able to kill Dracula in a very similar amount of time. As soon as I'm done with this fight, I'm going to go ahead and save the video, and hopefully I've got the entire damn thing done now, because this will be the 3rd time I've talked for a solid hour in a row to provide narrative for this thing. If it fucks up again, I'm just going to... I guess I'm going to bite the bullet, record it, move it over, do all the fancy shit. There we go. Go back to the abyss. Blah, 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 blah. 5705. Boom.